Today on Sci-Fi Fantasy Network, I'm talking to Terry Molloy. You may remember him as Davros, the creator of the Daleks from Doctor Who. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in acting? I understand you did a lot of radio early in your career.
Yeah, well, I still do. I mean, radio is, in fact, the medium I prefer more than any, because as an actor, you can do what you like. You know, you can be whatever age you want to be. You know, you're not restricted by physically what you look like. Yeah, I got into acting, as most actors of my generation did, by working in rep and theatre first, and then moved into radio and television and moved on from there.
Were you in school, were you into acting? Did you do drama at school?
Yeah, yeah, very much so. I mean, my mother was actually on the stage. She was part of a juvenile troupe in the 20s and 30s that did a lot of variety stuff, and then she became a soubrette and a dancer, and you know, so I suppose it's in my genes.
Is that what first attracted you to acting, it being in the family? Or was it just something you found you enjoyed?
No, I'm just a basic show-off.
You were an award-winning actor for your work on The Archers, I believe.
The Archers, yeah, I've done The Archers now for 43 years, but no, I've won awards for my radio plays. I won in '81 on what was now called the Sony Award for a play called Risky City, and I also did a thing about Picasso called Guernica, which won the gold medal in New York. Yeah, picked up one or two, and then, of course, as soon as you win an award, you don't work for 6 months. It's the way it goes. But.
So, as your character of Davros, you've now been in Big Finish as well on radio.
Yeah.
Has that been more to your liking?
I've loved it, yeah. I mean, I played Davros 3 times on television with Peter Davison first of all, then Colin, then Sylvester McCoy. We've carried on doing it. I've probably done it another 10, 13 times on radio. And you can explore areas of the character that you'd never be able to on television. I mean, for instance, on Big Finish, did a 4-part miniseries called I, Davros, which actually traces Davros from a young boy of 15 up to the creation of the very first Dalek. So you get that transition, that journey from man to monster. It's very, very rewarding and to be able to deal with characters in depth like that, where sometimes on television they skate over the top of them.
You also did a stage production, The Trial of Davros. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
What was that experience like?
Monstrous. I've got never again tattooed on my forehead. Physically, from my point of view, it was madness, because the director that they were hoping to have pulled out. So with, you know, little time to go, they badgered me into directing it as well as being in it, and rewriting parts of the script. Fairly monstrous to be on stage, because if you're doing the telly thing, you can stop, start, get out of costume, get out of, you know, whatever. On stage, you're there 2.5 hours. So I was virtually dying inside this chariot. In fact, when I got out, all the inside was covered in white salt crystals from the sweat. It was physically hard. And I'm glad we did it, and we did it just for that one day for children in need, and it was very successful, and it worked, surprisingly, by the seat of the pants, but and it made a lot of money for children in need, so that's really what it's all about.
What attracted you to the character? What keeps you coming back to it?
That's basically who I am. I love playing villains, you know. I mean, I saw it when Matthew Robinson asked me to take it over. I sat down and watched Genesis, because I'd not seen Davros. I didn't know who Davros was. I mean, I'd grown up with Troughton and Hartnell, and then kind of stopped watching. So I knew about Daleks, but I didn't know about Davros. And I could see that the character was created very much by the voice. But when we started to research it even more, you had to find a hook on which to base the character. And certainly when we were doing I, Davros, I was looking at somebody who's, to my mind, is somewhere on the autistic spectrum. No social ability in interacting with people on a social level. And if they see a problem, they go for the problem, and anyone who gets in the way gets flattened. I couldn't see any problem with what I was doing. I'm not playing evil. You can't play evil. It doesn't work. You play the truth of who that person is. And the truth was that guy thought he was doing good. Revelation, you know, he solves the problem of famine in the universe. When the Doctor asks him if he told his, you know, the people that were doing it, certainly not. It would have created consumer resistance. You know, it's a logical thing. No, they were dead. You know, what use are they? We fuse them to feed people. You know, he sees that he feels he's doing right, as every evil character must do.
Have you seen the new series with Julian Bleach, who's playing the character now? What's been your impression of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, Julian's a lovely actor, really is. I was disappointed with the first outing, but I was more disappointed in the story that he was pushed into, because I felt it did no favours to Davros as a character at all. The one that they've just done with Capaldi I thought was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
And exactly as it should be, because the whole basis of the character is the battle between Davros and the Doctor. They both are at the same intellectual level. They both know they're alone, and they're both trying to trap each other.
I understand you play the saxophone, or did at some point. Sorry to change tack dramatically.
Right. No, I did, yeah. I used to play clarinet at school and play in the jazz band. When I went to uni in Liverpool in the 60s, I joined a soul band playing sax in the Cavern and various other venues. I've still got it. I don't play. I play ukulele now because my lip's gone. You know, I can't. I hate to play it when I know I'm not going to be able to play it as well as I used to. That makes sense. Yeah.
What's next for you? What are you working on at the moment?
My autobiography. Yeah, putting things together, putting ideas together. It's been a long time gestating, but it won't be a nice autobiography. It's not going to be a sort of jolly tales about what I've done on stage, although some of that might come into it. It's more to do with my journey in life for my children. You know, my early days, my teenage years, and on into work. You know, how certain situations affected me. A lot more of these next year. I'm off to America another 5 times already, and we see what happens when the phone rings. You know.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
You take care.
Cheers. Thank you.